We've got a great group here. I'm just going to just kind of dive in and maybe throw some topics across the aisle here. I actually used to be in the agency side myself a ways back now, and if we were having, I was thinking about if we were having this conversation 10 years ago, and I told people that GRP was still going to be discussed even amongst digital planning or interactive back then planning folks, they would think that would be insane. That was like the attitude back then was let's throw away all thinking from old media. There's no way we're going to be thinking about this. We're going to have something so much more sophisticated. Yet now it seems like there is, and it's not universal, but there's a renaissance for the GRP even among digital buyers. How did that happen? Why is that happening? Who wants to kind of dive in there and start on that one?
Well, I guess I'll take it. The reason being is there's a desire for a common currency so that you can buy cross-platform across online, mobile, and TV. And there are some
desire from who? The clients?
Yeah, from the advertisers. They want to be able to they understand. They've got familiarity with GRPs. They were definitely driving the requirement for that.
Now, is that because, Jenna, maybe I'll have you jump in. I think 10 years ago people would say that, well, that if anyone's talking about this, it's because they're like old media guys. They don't get it. They don't understand what a click-through is. That's why now. But now, there's CMOs in positions that are digital veterans. You'd think this might have gone away, but is it because these guys look at a media plan, they say, I get what 200 GRPs does, 20 million views and in video and 40 million impressions in this campaign. Sounds amazing. I have no idea what that means. Is that a big reason why the GRP is in vogue again?
Yeah, I think making that translation is important. And I think when you can do things like measure across channels, you can do media mix modeling and things like that, there is a connection cross-channel. So why from the get-go can't you show reach, frequency, commonalities across channel when you're planning? You can measure it that way. Why not from a planning standpoint?
Right. There's a difference. I should be clear. But people have been calculating GRPs for campaigns forever, and even in digital, you can do the math. Right. This is more the movement we're talking about is changing the currency. That's a big shift.
I think one difference is the GRPs always have been around reach frequency. I remember in my double-click days we used to compute them like 10, maybe late 90s. So the reach frequency curves have been around. What's different is the demos. And the reason, we believe the reason for the revisit, if there is any, right, because we always believe that GRP is critical to get the basics right. The reason is because now there are interesting data sources available that you could tap into the whole digital ecosystems. Registration data, publishers have a lot of data over and beyond panels. Because in the Nielsen company, we have had panels for a long time. We tried and we continue to do GRPs in different ways, but there are constraints and limitations of panel. But if you open yourself up to the data assets that, and terrific, phenomenal data out there, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of you guys have terrific data. It's just a possibility of taking a platform that marketers are familiar with. Now, they may agree or disagree, and again, there are, I think that's a different issue. Familiar with and leveraging the digital data sources that's already in place. And I believe, or we believe, it's a big step forward. And notwithstanding all the measurement list that was shown, they were very important. But GRP does get you to a place where it just gives a similar view of who is actually seeing the ad. So I think it's always been there. The demographics and the assets, data assets, are exploding. So it allows you to get into GRPs or the demos. Now, one could argue you could do GRPs beyond demos, lifestyle. So it's all about information. So you have reach and frequency if you start adding different types of information, and it just becomes extremely powerful. So I think the key is to going beyond demographics, and I think demographics is just a start.